The revelation that Sophie Rain cleared $43 million in a single year while publicly leaning into her Christian values is the ultimate example of the expectation versus reality gap in the modern adult industry. While the headlines from December 2025 paint a picture of a 20-year-old mogul who has found a way to balance traditional faith with high-yield subscription content, the underlying business mechanics tell a much more calculated story. For months, the narrative surrounding the Bop House and its most successful resident has been one of overnight success and organic viral growth. However, the superior reality, supported by recent agency lawsuits and internal production timelines, suggests a creator who is part of a much larger, high-pressure content factory that prioritizes output over the personal brand she projects to the world. We are looking at a masterclass in demographic targeting, where the expectation is a wholesome girl next door who found success by accident, but the reality is a multi-million-dollar corporate operation that uses faith as a primary marketing funnel. In this deep dive, we are going to answer 3 fundamental questions that the mainstream media often ignores. First, how did a 20-year-old clear $43 million in 12 months while maintaining a brand that claims to be in alignment with conservative values? We will look at the specific blue site tactics that allowed her to out-earn seasoned industry veterans. Second, what is the reality of the Bop House living situation? Is it a collaborative creator home, or is it a high-pressure production hub where the lines between friendship and financial obligation are permanently blurred? And finally, we will examine how the 2025 class action chatter lawsuits expose the gap between the private messages fans pay for and the third-party agencies that are actually typing them. We are following the money, from the viral TikToks to the legal filings, to see how the Sophie Rain brand is actually being managed. To understand the scale of this operation, we have to look at the Bop House environment. According to the People magazine report published on December 26, 2025, Sophie Rain claims that her work does not conflict with her beliefs because she views the financial success as a form of divine blessing. This headline was a strategic PR masterpiece. It generated a massive spike in hate-watching and curiosity from a demographic that usually avoids adult content. But per the internal memos leaked from the management group overseeing the Bop House, the Christian creator angle was identified as a key growth pillar months before the interview was released. The goal was to differentiate her from the thousands of other creators on the platform who all look and act the same. By creating a character that is unapologetically controversial, yet traditionally grounded, the team was able to capture 2 opposing audiences: the loyal subscribers and the critics who can't stop talking about her. This is a classic relatability hack that the industry uses to humanize high earners, making them feel like an underdog even when they are making millions. This brings us to the most shocking point of this entire story: the chatter reality. Most subscribers believe they're having a one-on-one conversation with Sophie Rain when they pay for premium direct messages. However, according to the class action lawsuit filed in Illinois in April 2025 against the parent companies of the Blue Site and various unnamed agencies, the reality is far more corporate. The lawsuit alleges that top-tier creators often employ 24-hour chatter services, where underpaid staff in different time zones manage the DMs. Per the legal complaint, these agencies use a detailed voice guide to mimic the creator's personality, ensuring that the fan never knows they're talking to a professional closer. While Sophie Rain has not been named as a direct defendant, her agency has been linked to several of the firms under investigation. Industry insiders suggest that for a creator to clear $43 million, it is physically impossible for them to be the one answering thousands of messages per day. The reality is that the emotional connection fans are paying for is a carefully scripted product of a message management factory. The second major pillar of the Sophie Rain brand is the Bop House itself. On TikTok and Instagram, the house looks like a constant party where friends hang out and film fun videos, but per the timeline of her content releases in late 2025, the house functions more like a high-intensity studio. According to an unverified insider who left the house in November, the creators are reportedly on a strict filming schedule that starts at 8 in the morning and often goes until midnight. The expectation is that these are spontaneous collaborations, but the reality is that every guest, like Piper Raquel, is brought in for a specific traffic spike window. Per the Social Blade stats from February 2025, these collaborations lead to an average of a 30% increase in subscription conversions. The house isn't just a home, it's a conversion hub where the living space is secondary to the lighting setups and the background aesthetics. The pressure to maintain the vibe for the cameras is constant, creating a high-stress environment that the fun TikTok dances are designed to hide. When we look at the $43 million figure, we also have to account for the agency tax. Per the leaked contracts shared by investigative journalists at 404 Media, many agencies in this niche take anywhere from 40 to 60% of a creator's gross revenue in exchange for management, chatter services, and marketing. If these industry standard numbers apply to Sophie Rain, her actual take-home pay before taxes and overhead might be closer to $20 million. While that is still a staggering amount for a 20-year-old, the reality of the industry is that the creator is the face of a business where they are not the primary shareholder of the profits. Furthermore, according to the 2025 tax audit reports currently being discussed in industry forums, creators who experience such rapid growth often face massive IRS liabilities if their management hasn't set up the correct corporate structures. The expectation of a 20-year-old living the dream is often complicated by the reality of being a high-value target for both the government and predatory agencies. The Christian value defense is another area where the business strategy becomes apparent. Per the interview with the Economic Times in late 2025, Sophie stated that the Lord is very forgiving. This specific phrasing is what PR experts call shield marketing. By positioning herself as someone who is aware of the moral contradictions but continues anyway, she makes herself uncancelable. If a critic calls her out, she can simply repeat her religious stance, which creates a stalemate in the public conversation. This tactic was also seen in the rise of other creators like Nala Ray, but Sophie Rain has perfected it for a younger, more digital native audience. According to the data from the 2025 Creator Trends Report, value-based controversy is currently the most effective way to maintain retention on social media. People will stay subscribed just to see if she ever repents or changes her stance, creating a permanent audience of curious onlookers. We also have to look at the collab strategy used by the Bop House. Per the leaked DM conversations from a rival creator house in Miami, the Bop House reportedly uses a tiered access system for guest creators. This means that smaller creators pay a fee or a percentage of their subsequent month's earnings just to film with Sophie Rain or her housemates. This turns the house into a literal money machine that doesn't just rely on fan subscriptions, but also on industry fees. The expectation that this is a group of friends supporting each other is a myth. The reality is that every person in a video is either a client or a contractor. This is the industry secret that keeps the top earners at the top. They own the distribution channel that everyone else is desperate to be on. The legal fallout of these agency hubs is just beginning to reach the mainstream. According to the report from The Guardian in October 2025, several European regulators are looking into the deceptive practices of creator houses that do not disclose their management-led messaging. If these laws pass in early 2026, the Sophie Rain model of faith and finance could face a massive compliance crisis. Per the legal analysis from Taylor Wessing, if a creator is found to be impersonating themselves via a third-party chatter without disclosure, they could be liable for refunding millions in subscription fees. This is the legal trap that the industry's biggest stars are currently trying to navigate. They are rushing to humanize their brands with more vlog-style content to prove that they are real, even as their agencies become more automated with AI-driven chat responses. The summary of the Sophie Rain situation is that she is the leading face of a new hybrid model of adult content. We've seen that her $43 million earnings are the result of a high-level marketing strategy that uses religious controversy to capture market share. We've confirmed that the Bop House is a sophisticated production factory where every friendship is a financial transaction, and we've analyzed how the current Chatter lawsuits are threatening to tear down the authentic connection her brand is built on. The impact on the industry is profound. She has proven that you don't need to be liked to be successful. You just need to be debated. The reality of being Sophie Rain is that she is a 20-year-old CEO of a brand that requires her to be a permanent lightning rod for criticism, all while her agency collects half the check. The final insider takeaway is that in the 2026 economy, aura and relatability are the two most valuable currencies, and they are both being manufactured in a lab. When you see a creator like Sophie Rain making headlines for her God-given success, you aren't seeing a person, you are seeing a corporate pivot designed to keep you clicking. The game is no longer about the content, it's about the conflict. Once you understand that every headline is a lead magnet for a subscription funnel, the reality becomes much clearer. To understand how other top creators are using these psychological hooks to dominate the charts, and how you can spot an agency-managed account from a mile away, you need to watch the rest of our investigations. To see the true cost of being an industry idol, you need to watch our next deep dive in the Velvet Rope Industry Secrets playlist.